What is going on YouTube? Today, as promised, gonna be giving you guys a full day of eating. Haven't given you guys an update since my diet has changed, so that's gonna be this today. I just wrapped up cardio and I have to get to Dr. Pank, my chiropractor, in like an hour and I haven't eaten. So I gotta make this food quick, get showered, get down there. I can't even talk or think right now. But meal number one hasn't really changed. I kind of changed how I make it, but same kind of thing, 180 grams of ground turkey. I've actually been using this trifecta meat. So I literally just weigh out 180 grams and I cut it up into little cubes and makes it almost taste like breakfast sausage when you put the eggs in and whatnot. Then I just scramble 2 eggs, put it on top of that as you've seen, and then I'll show you what I switched up after. Wow, my heart is literally as broken as that wrap. I have 2 wraps left and one broke. So I've been eating these brown rice tortillas, but mainly they're based with brown rice rather than like wheat and all of that, so they're gluten-free. And I'm supposed to be having like 3 pieces of toast, but the wraps are the same amount of carbs, gluten-free, so I've been replacing them with that. I just kind of like a breakfast wrap better than toast. I just love breakfast wraps. But these things, because they're gluten-free and they're like brown rice, are like, if you don't microwave them and get them soft a little bit before you fold them, they literally crack, as you saw. So I might try and make that work, but if not, this is gonna be a shitty day to show you my breakfast. So we're gonna see what we can do. So when the eggs are done, toss them in the bowl because I use the plate to try and create my wraps, but I just don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I don't have the problem solving skills right now this early in the morning with such little food in me, but we're just gonna put these in the microwave and hope for the best. Next, I literally just throw the tortilla on the pan for a little bit. This just kind of gets it warm again. Crisps. Wow, I can't even pretend to say that word with my lips, but it makes it more crispy. And I use the edge of the pan like that to kind of create where I'm gonna put the egg and whatnot. And I literally just kind of like, this is really hard with one hand, by the way. Dump half of the egg in each thing. I let that go for a little bit there, take it off, put it on the plate, roll it up, eat. There you have it. Actually looks pretty good, that one does. That is an illusion and it's gonna rip its shit right open once I get in there. But it all goes down the same hole as my mother used to say. So next step, I toss on a little bit of no sugar added ketchup. I hate these bottles. Then you literally, oh, wait. I thought I broke the good one, but you get the point. I don't want to eat the shitty one first. So I'm gonna end this little clip off quick because I gotta rush and get to my chiropractor, shower. So I'll talk more about my eating after that. Okay, making meal numero dos right now. Great meal, cannot complain. I got 210 grams of flank steak, 60 grams of beans. Flank steak, by the way, is like the leanest cut of meat. There's no like chunks of fat anywhere on it. And there's not a lot of marbling in it. And actually, it tastes really good. It's a little rough to chew, but it is actually a really good steak. It's expensive, but I mean, the lowest fat, you're getting good micronutrients from it. And little red meat in your life is good, especially on prep when you're very low, like nutrients in general. But the only trick I really have to this meal is giving you guys a tip. When I make my rice, I know I'm not the only bodybuilder, but I'm lazy, so I make a shit ton of rice and I don't even take it out of the rice cooker. I just put that whole thing in my fridge. And in doing so, your rice can get dry, obviously if it's been in the fridge for a few days or something. So what I do is I put it in like a little Tupperware or a big Tupperware, really doesn't matter. I just happen to have one that fits because it's only 140 grams of rice and I hate myself because I'm starving, but just kidding. But what I do, I turn the sink on, kind of like loose, and then I just put a little water on it like that. So that's just the basic trick. But when you put it in there, you put a bunch of water in. I honestly kind of like it if it's a little soggy, but if you just put a little bit of water, it won't get soggy like that. And then you load it up with some salt. I don't have to do a crazy amount, but I put salt in it, and then I mix it into the rice and whatnot. And there's something about when you cook your rice too, if you put salt in it, it tastes a lot better as it's cooking. There's something about rice heating up with some salt in it, makes it taste way better. And with the water in the microwave now, I think it honestly like helps it absorb into the rice and makes it a little bit less dry when it's sitting in your fridge. But yeah, so I put the water in and I actually put a lid on top like that. I don't close the lid, I just leave it sitting there so it's like kind of sealed. It traps in the moisture and it like spreads the water into the rice. And then I put it in the microwave for like a minute and it tastes way better than just shitty rice. Also, as you can see, I cut my steak into cubes before I heat it up. I used to think that it'd be better to keep it in like one piece and then heat it up because it's less likely to kind of cook the whole inside, but that's actually worse. It makes you need to put it in the microwave for a lot longer and the edges end up getting cooked more and it's not going to be all medium rare. So if you cut it up into chunks before you heat it up and you heat it up for less time, you have to make sure you monitor how long you heat it up. More likely to keep your steak rare and red because nobody wants to be eating no brown steak. If you eat your steak medium, we can't be friends. There you have the final product. Meat still red, rice nice and moist and delicious. I don't even put anything on this meal because white rice right now tastes like heaven on earth. Better than cake. Pretty much sugar when I eat white rice. And the steak, I've been putting this steak spice. My favorite is like a Montreal steak spice. And this one's salt free, just literally because I accidentally bought it, but maybe it's good. I have a bunch of salt in my rice. Don't need more over here, but I just sprinkle a little bit of this onto the steak, and it's just a beautiful little thing. I normally cook with it, honestly, but didn't this time, so we're putting it on after. And we got some plain yellow beans. And that's gonna be meal number 2. So meal number 3, and this is my pre-workout meal. Very similar to the last one. Can't see anything, but it's just veggies, 210 grams of chicken breast, and 140 grams of rice again. So my rice never goes over 140 grams, and I only have 2 rice meals a day now, but been using that. I did the same technique with the rice, and I use my trifecta chicken, which is actually really good chicken. It does not get like dry or anything, even when they send it, and it's been sitting in my fridge for like 4 days or something. Comes out of the vacuum sealed package, not dry at all. So you can check out the link in my bio if you guys want to look into trifecta. But I also kind of wanted to, this is really hot, I heat up my rice way too long, so I want to like take a second and talk about kind of like thought process behind like the dieting, especially specifically my prep and people who are looking to diet, whether for a show or just in long term, short term, whatever. And I think the most important part is starting with a good base point that's not too hectic. So if we're just talking about food, but same goes for cardio, but you want to start eating as much as possible while losing weight. So let's say your maintained calories is like 44,000 calories. You want to maybe start with like 3,800 calories, something just below it, so you have a lot of wiggle room to move with afterwards. Same with cardio, you don't want to start doing 2 hours of cardio a day and adapt to that. So start with that, and eventually your body is going to also adapt. So throughout a long diet plan, your metabolic, like resting metabolic rate might not always stay at that 4,000 calories. It might actually decrease. So that will require you to eat even less calories throughout. So you got to kind of keep that in mind, that your metabolism will slow down from being on a diet for too long. That's why obviously being on a diet forever is not a good thing. You see a lot of people who kind of over diet themselves, and then afterward they put on a whole bunch of weight and it's really hard to take it off, and that's usually the reason. Another thing that can help that is diet breaks, and this only really works if it's like a really long diet, like 16, 18 weeks or something, I'd say, or 20 weeks even. But that's when you take a full week of going back to like your, I'd say go back to your maintenance calories. So if, again, using that number 4,000, if that's your maintenance calories, you've been eating about 3,000, maybe for 1 week, go back up to 4,000 and eat that, and then go back on diet. And this is only obviously if you have a lot of time and whatnot, and that's just to kind of get your body working again, get your metabolism fired back up, and just pushing a bit more. And obviously that's a lot different than a refeed. Refeed is more like if you're losing weight too quick, if you're too flat, if you're just like, if you've been you're just too below that deficit, you're too underneath of the deficit, then that's just kind of like what refeeds are for. So that's kind of different than a diet break. Again, diet breaks are only for really long diets. Also, you want to like kind of vary your macros. So at the beginning, I start with very high protein. Obviously, the bodybuilders, it's like one of the most important things we need. But obviously, fats, carbs were also very, very crucial to us. But when you're dieting, the more when you're not dieting, the more carbs you eat, the more protein your body can utilize. So if you're having a high amount of carbs, then that's actually protein sparing like properties to that, so you don't have to eat quite as much protein, which means the opposite. When you're on prep, you need to eat a little bit more protein. And it's actually been proven through a lot of studies that first thing obviously your body uses to store fat is fat macros, and then the second thing is carbs, and the third one is protein. So it's least likely to store protein as fat in your body. So the more protein you're eating within your diet, it actually can be super efficient in that way. Your body can also get like used to like a macro ratio you're at or something. So let's say that you've been eating a certain amount of calories and you've been having high protein, medium carb, really low fat, and your body's kind of stuck for a while, it's not doing its thing, but you don't want to cut too many calories and you want to kind of give it a bit of a bump, a switch. You can actually almost like flip your carbs and fats. Like I said, you always want to keep protein high, especially at a deficit, but something you can do is give your body make it work differently on the nutrients you're giving it. So maybe have a little bit higher fat, a little bit lower carb, but actually eat the same amount of calories. And there's also been plenty of cases where that's shown to work. It can help you kind of kickstart your body again if you're at a plateau in your diet, just switching things up, giving it different energy sources to work on, different stuff to fuel it. So little things just to kind of beat plateaus, keep your body constantly moving. But the basis of it all is to start with a good point. Like I said, you want to start eating a lot of food and then you just slowly chip away. So like I was eating a lot in my first full day of eating. I think it was like over 4,500 calories maybe, somewhere around that for the beginning of my prep. And I'm still eating the same basic meals. I've just chipped away at pieces of it. Like there's a lot of carbs gone right now. There's some fats gone. I don't have avocado anymore. My rice meals are all like 70 grams less of rice in them. I have one extra meal without carbs, no muffins, sadly. But basic principle of it all is get your body used to a high standard, like eating a lot of food and you're working really quick through that, and then you slowly pull it away. So random tips, lots of fucking rambling I just did there, but it's probably cooled down and I'm starving, so I'm gonna eat this and head to the gym, hit some arms, I believe. Post-workout shake going down. This hasn't changed at all since before, except I have no banana like I did last time. So same old thing, fill my Bullet Blender Ninja, I don't even know what kind of blender it is, my blender up with ice, and then just like barely put a bit more water so that the ice floats in the water. Then we do 2 scoops of cookies and cream, the only flavor I have. I kind of want to go to Popeyes and get some chocolate or something because I've been craving chocolate. And I do a scoop, like a heaping scoop of collagen, because this is actually my chiropractor even randomly recommended this to me. Type 2 collagen, I believe, is for like joints and tendons. Type 1 and 3 is for like hair and nails and shit. So this is type 2, I believe. So it's really good for helping repair tendons, joints, keeping them safe and healthy, because I have not had the best knees in the past. I've had elbow pain. We've all are going to go through pains in the bodybuilding world. So I highly recommend using some collagen if you have it at your disposal. And next, I put in 50 grams of carbs worth of this brown rice cocoa crisp. Actually really good. Tastes a lot like Rice Krispies, but cocoa. And this is specifically a time of day when you try and avoid eating fats. So like, I guess some people have like treats and stuff post-workout, which I'm all for. I'm having cereal, but I don't think you should be having like muffins or things that are more higher in fat, because fat can slow down digestion, absorption of proteins and whatnot. And it's a time where your insulin levels are spiked post-workout after lifting like heavy weights and stuff. So it's a good time to get in a really quick absorbing carb, high GI carb, like something like Rice Krispies, or even a little sugary if you really want to. I'm trying to avoid a lot of sugar, but yeah, that's a good thing to get in post-workout. So I got 2 scoops, 50 grams of protein. I got a scoop of collagen and 50 grams of carbs worth of cereal. Shameless plug, as always, if you guys want You can use my code CBUM when you check out for these and get a 20% off discount. So feel free if you want to do that. Okay, it's a little late, but going on to my second last meal of the day. I tend to always put off meals because I don't want to like be starving at the end of the night, and the next thing I know it's like too late and I have to eat 2 meals in back-to-back hours, but it's kind of nice, honestly. So meal number 5 is pretty much just 210 grams of turkey or chicken, but I've made it into a salad. Sometimes I either take hearts of romaine like this, and I make like a lettuce wrap with the turkey or whatever, and I put like a mustard in it, and I make a nice little wrap. But this time, decided to have a salad, so I use this power blend, which you cannot see. I just got this the other day. It's Brussels sprouts, cabbage, broccoli, carrots, kale, and stuff. In the base of my salad, I use this 50-50 blend of baby spinach and spring mix. So, wow, that's not focusing, is it? So, a little bit of spinach, a little bit of fiber, you know, a little bit of goodness in my life, and nice micronutrients. And I just picked this up like a Bragg vinaigrette. Wow, nothing will focus tonight. But it's a vinaigrette dressing, and I'm gonna weigh that out because most salad dressings have an insane amount of calories in them. So I'm going to put 20 calories of that on here, and yeah, that's about it. So pretty much 210 grams of turkey. I use the trifecta cut up and some salad. Gross. Final meal of the day. This is where I get a little bit lazy. I don't feel like cooking veggies or making a salad or anything. I just kind of want to eat this and get to bed. So it's literally just 210 grams of salmon on a plate, which wraps up today's full day of eating. And I guess it seemed like a decent amount of food probably, but it leaves me starving. That's for damn sure. And honestly, it took me a while to adjust to this because I was used to a lot of food. So I had a few days where I was like so tired, like wake up tired, do my cardio, eat, like nap, just like hard to gym. It was like probably 10 days like that or so, 12 days or something. And then my body slowly started to adapt, feel a lot better. Now my energy is already a lot more consistent, feeling better. Just kind of, you gotta just grind through that pain a little bit sometimes, and it doesn't necessarily make prep easy, or I mean prep doesn't get easy, but or at least body adapts a little bit to the change as opposed to just going from a huge caloric surplus to nothing. And also you guys can see I don't really do macro bullshit. I don't like, not that it's even bullshit, but I don't eat like whatever I want and just try and fill in a macro category because I mean, I believe it works for sure if you're trying to lose weight and get kind of lean, but when you're worried about maintaining muscle mass, getting absolutely shredded, like stage shredded, like sub 5% body fat, sub 4%, and you want to have like active or consistent energy levels keeping you active throughout the day, it's really, I think, really important to eat whole foods like this, keep your digestion clear, keep everything running smooth, especially when it's so routine every day. Your body gets so used to just using it, cycling it through and all that. It just feels good using it. So your body doesn't obviously use carbs and fats and everything the same way. If you're eating stuff like cereal and muffins and Pop-Tarts and shit for all of your carbs in the day, it's also going to make you crave sugar a lot more because sugar is literally, I saw a study where it was actually related to some really hard drug. I can't remember which one, but your body, your brain, the chemicals in your brain literally, I can't talk right now, sorry, it's late. The chemicals in your brain literally react the same with sugar as they do other things. So when you don't have any sugar, you don't crave it. The more you have, the more you crave it. So it's best to just kind of avoid it. And if you don't have any cheats, any shitty food throughout your prep, trust me, your cravings will be a lot less. You'll still be hungry, but cravings will be less. So yeah, that wraps up this day of eating. I need to get to bed because I can barely talk. But I actually calculated my macros this time using MyFitnessPal. I asked you guys to do it last time, and I said I was going to pin a comment, and I did not pin the comment, so I apologize. But not one of you guys, like I think like 6 people did it, and everybody was like 400 calories off. So you got to be really careful if you're using MyFitnessPal. The most important thing is just to be consistent. So always make sure you're using the same the same thing you choose. So if you're adding or reducing or whatever, you're adding the same amount. But I literally picked 5 different salmons, and one said 210 grams of salmon was 170 calories. One said it was 500 calories. One said it was 400 calories. So I had to like research online, find a credible source of what it should be, and match it up with that. So I did that for everything. So they should be as consistent as possible. But my total food intake was 2,683 calories. So my macros ended up being a lot more than I thought. I was bitching thinking I was eating nothing, but it is more than I thought. So macros are 212 grams of carbs, 77 grams of fat, and 289 grams of protein. So I know you guys love hearing macros and having numbers for that. So I put this together. I'll put the screenshots on the screen too as I'm doing this. And yeah, so again, be careful when you're using this app. It's not as consistent as you think. You can find 5 different things that say chicken breast and they'll all be different calories. So just be careful, look it up. And I'm gonna keep watching Stranger Things and get to bed because I'm tired as hell.